At the Close show. Welcome everyone. It is 3:30. Actually, it's 3:32. We're 2 minutes late, but it's a free show. What are you guys gonna do about it? I'm just kidding. All right. Anyway, what's the deal? Everything is up today, right? Almost everything. Real estate's down. Utilities are down. Staples are flat, but everything else is higher. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the big movers of the day. We'll take questions from our chat. Hope everyone has had a nice, easy, profitable day. Let's bring Joel on and let's start the show. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, Joel. The S&Ps here. This isn't actually, it's not just the S&Ps. It's the whole market. It's the Russell, it's the Nasdaq, and it's the S&P. The more this happens, the more I think, shoot, I think I just totally screwed this up. But I'm getting, dare I say, cautiously optimistic.
Right, well, we'll run everything down real quick, and then we can drill down on the originals. A little bit of a turbulent morning. Ended up taking out the pre-market low, but not by much, and they just couldn't take this thing down. So if you can't take it down, you take it up. You take out the pre-market high. I'm looking at my sheet. I have 45.1450 is the pre-market high. And I don't have anything to 45.43, and that's not even a good number. The good number after that is 45.94 and a quarter. So there's no resistance in here, folks. And the 50%, yeah, that was good for maybe a little pause, but man, how many times have I seen this in the last couple years ago? That 50%, yeah, it might like slow it down, but it paused it, but it ain't what it used to be. Crude makes, I believe, a new high for the move here at 88.87. Need to post a close. I believe 88.15 has been the high close for the move. Gold meandering around 1800. Wow. Quiet range up 330 at 1799.70. Silver, that's in the green. Hi ho silver, that's green by 21.7 cents at 22.610. Bitcoin, wow, what a tight range in this one. Bitcoin up $180 at 38,665, and Ethereum going the same way, a little bit more on a percentage basis. That's up 86.50 at 27.75.
So let's just recap some of the stocks from the morning. We talked about UPS and Exxon because they both reported, and neither of them took any kind of real heat today. They just kind of kept on going.
Yeah, egg all over my face. I mean, I said, hey, the all-time high potential sell zone is 218 to 220. That ended up being didn't even open up anywhere near 220. They love that report. A breakout in a big way. Don't stand in the way. And then ExxonMobil did the same thing, right? How much is that up? Is that up like $5 now? Let's take a look at XOM. $4. I was close. Up 469. Cleared those highs, right? The four highs, right? It was right at 76 and off to the races. Major breakouts here. Finally catching up with the way oil's performed a little bit.
Let me just answer a question here from the chat. Josh asked, what time does Google report? That's a very good question, Josh. The timing of these things, of the actual reports, the time that the reports hit the wire, it's never exact and it's never consistent. It's not like the conference calls. The conference calls are exact and they are scheduled in advance. For example, 5 p.m. Eastern time. The companies will announce the timing of the call. They will not announce the timing of their report. So all we've got to go off of is past quarters. Now, I can tell you by looking at the Benzinga Pro that typically Alphabet reports earnings in that typically everything comes in 5-minute chunks. So there's the 4 to 405, there's the 405 to 410, et cetera, et cetera. Typically, Google reports in that first 5-minute chunk, in those first 5 minutes after the bell. So I would say have your ears primed or whatever, your eyes peeled for that first those first 5 minutes after 4 o'clock Eastern today, that is usually, not always, but usually when Alphabet's report actually hits the wires. Whether it's 403, 404, 402, I don't really know. But I hope that answers your question. It's typically going to be in the first 5 minutes. And then the conference call, which again is scheduled, which we will be streaming on the Benzinga YouTube page. The conference call is scheduled for 5 p.m. Eastern. So there we go. Hope that answers your question. What else from this morning, Joel? AT&T, very very quiet day. Nothing to say about.
Actually, I mean, this this is a big day for AT&T here. Um, they finally did what they already announced. The pre-market, we were covering it when it was under 24. Triple D was looking for that low of the move at 23.56. You didn't even see that in the regular session. We talked about a potential gap fill at 24.62. It went to 24.60. Uh, I'll tell you, I'm long it higher. Now I brought my average down a little bit. Um, Maybe they finally made a right move. I mean, that's not what great investing thesis. But technically speaking, it gave a lot back of this move off the low, and it's steady in here. So I don't know. Overall, the price, they didn't crush it down to that 23.56. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad day's worth of action. The question is can they build a little more of a base here? And then get back up, get back over that 25.5, which was yesterday's high.
No, I don't know. Joel, did you see the big intraday M&A news? It's like the third week in a row we've had some sort of intraday M&A news. Did you see the report from about SeaWorld? SeaWorld may be buying Cedar Point. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah.
If fair, what's fun, right?
Fun. You're close.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ugh, I don't know, man. I mean, if there's smoke, there's fire, right? Did they give a price or whatever?
No, it was a Bloomberg reporter, I think. I don't think there was
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. No, I'm sorry. They gave a they gave a price tag of oh, come on. Let me get it in my news feed here. They gave a price tag of $3.4 billion for SeaWorld. I don't know.
I don't know. If there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, if you have this and you want to ring the register, ring the register. I don't know. I mean, we're coming out, a reopening trade. I'm not buying it up here, nor am I shorting it. It's a rumor. Coles, we're still waiting for a higher takeout bid than 64, and these kind of things. I mean, I think it's a gift. I think it's a gift. Whether or not they get taken over or not, I don't know. But man, that's a big move. You're getting back to finally clearing that January. You're just about to where we were in January. So of 20, that's my reference point where we're stuck. So all this time, that's where you've gotten back to. I'm not a big Cedar Point fan, though. I'd like to.
Joel, I've never been, but I will be going.
Yeah.
This spring or summer, I don't know when, but it is the number one thing on my to-do list for like this summer is to hit.
Do you like amusement parks?
I do, and I was supposed to go in October, and then I got COVID, so I had to cancel my ticket and all that. But I like amusement parks. I don't like crowds, and I hate lines, but I love amusement parks.
What does Ariel say about it?
Oh yeah, she's for it. Yeah, she's for it. Yeah. I want to go to this comment from Thad, which I think is important. And as Thad, I also get these notes from FactSet, so I saw the same thing that you did. That about just under 80% of the S&P 500 companies that have already reported earnings came in with the EPS above the consensus analyst estimates. Now there are a lot of bones you could pick with this. The first of which being that this is a great indicator to show that the movement of a stock post earnings does not necessarily have anything to do with how good or bad the numbers are. We also know that typically analysts will skew a little bit conservative in their estimates. At least like the consensus skews conservative, the average skews conservative. So it's not always that high a bar to clear. But it is a good reminder that let's not lose sight of the fundamentals. We can all, play, whatever, get whiplash with the daily markets, but the fundamentals say that it has been, by and large, for until now, a mostly good earnings season. Let's not lose sight of that fact. I thought that was a great. I also saw that stat earlier, which is why I wanted to bring that up. So,
And that's what I mentioned about this morning when, once again, there was certain talk about the market rolling over. Why did Apple have big move? Good earnings. Why did Microsoft? Still quite a bit off its all-time high, but that moved up off their earnings. So one scenario is, oh, this is as good as it gets. That they just were topping out with the earnings beats, and you can take that opinion, but you know, good reports. I mean, it's hard to fight the tape, and that's what you've seen today, at least in a lot of the trading action. Good reports pretty
mhm.
much have been transcended. Now, if they come back with bad guidance, that's another thing. But
Okay, so
market likes good like good like good reports. That's all there
yeah.
is to it.
Okay, so here's the calendar for tonight: GM, Alphabet, Starbucks, AMD, EA, Gilead, PayPal, Match Group. I don't care about H&R Block or CSG personally, so I chose to not read those. But you got a number of big names here. Let me think. I mean, we're streaming the Alphabet call and the AMD call. How is someone asked about Match Group in the chat? BNZNB asked about Match Group. I have not looked at the match chart for a while. Actually, I couldn't even guess. If you asked me where to guess, I would have no idea where it is right now. Where is Match?
I can't even. I haven't looked at it in a long time either. It's wallowing here.
What is that?
Uh, it,
111. I would have guessed
mm,
anywhere from 40 to 200. I have no idea.
it's trying to get off the mat. What I like about this chart here is I'd be willing to take it either way. If you break down to this 105.15 low, actually three lows in the same area. I'll call it support. I wouldn't fade it because it's $6 off it. On the upside, if they can take this thing through 113, I think you might get a look at 116. Don't know. This is still a pretty high PE stock, though, right? Match
Yeah,
Group.
I think so. I think it's
Yeah.
one of those companies that has had to figure out how to monetize after the fact, which sometimes is good, sometimes is not. Um, and okay, here's a good one. Thank you for bringing this up to us. Who had this in the chat? Yeah, our fan wants us to look at Generac. Joel, I know you know this, but for those of the rest of you who don't know this, Michigan is about to get hit pretty hard by
They say. What are you hearing on the
I'm
predictions?
hearing a foot to a foot and a half. What are you hearing?
I'm sold.
That's, I, I would gladly lose that bet, Joel.
You know why? Because are you bringing your wait, it's supposed to start tomorrow night, right?
No, it's supposed to start tonight.
Tonight?
It's a 2-day blizzard, I think, is what we're supposed to
Wait,
get.
I thought it was because I gave away my basketball tickets for tonight because I thought the storm was starting tonight. And then
It,
Lisa said, no, it's supposed to start tomorrow
hold
night.
on, hold on. I'm going to AccuWeather, which I trust.
This is
Uh,
what I say. And I am a pretty good weather predictor. In fact,
okay.
when the kids went to school, their friends used to call, find out if there was going to have a snow day because I would know what the way. To
Okay.
me,
It's supposed to start like late morning tomorrow,
uh,
afternoon tomorrow,
here in
early.
Chicago, we're going to get 2 inches or 2 feet. I just think it's too warm right now. No, I mean I know it could get colder, but for me, like if it was like hanging like 28, 29, have you been outside, Spencer? It's 46 degrees out right now.
Have I been outside? You must not know me very well. No, I've not been outside today.
I, I'm
Been
short, man.
outside for 5 seconds.
It doesn't make any difference to me, but Anyways, yeah.
So Generac, that was the original company.
Generac's good. It's usually to buy it before.
This is the before. No, is it too late?
No, like 2 days ago.
Oh,
Like
God.
I don't know. This stock's been in the doghouse for a long time. Yeah, you could take a flyer on it. It's kind of like an old trick, though, right? Like everyone knows, kind of knows about it. And believe me, if you get a lot of snow, you're not going to be able to go out and get a generator, right?
It's
So
too late. Yeah.
yeah, if you get a pop here, I mean, you can lean on the low of the move. There's actually been a little bit of anticipatory buying on this already, but I'm looking just above 300, and I see, if you get a pop here to what's the zone? Let's call it like 303, 304. That's really the next resistance if this thing, yeah, let's call it 30 304. That splits three highs. So and if you're buying it, then you got to lean on the low of the move, and that's quite a ways down here in Generac. That was
Yeah.
made last month at 251.74.
All right.
Spoo's making a new high here.
I'm conscious of the fact that we did a very bad job on the ticker time today, so we'll try to do more of it in the next 12 minutes. If you have tickers for us, please drop them in. Joe, I would love your thoughts on JD. I know I really have sworn off of China, but what Cameron said this morning got the gears turning in my head, and knowing that you know the Olympics are in like 2 days, and the China's playing nice. And anyway, I looked at JD earlier and I saw, it's actually decently off its lows, which is something. So I would like your thoughts on this JD chart.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, right? I mean, it put in the hard bottom. Looks a lot different than the Baba chart. Um, where you have three lows. That's not going to do any good. 62, 63. I mean, if you want to take a stab here, I would look at that. I think you got to give it at least down to these pair of lows at 66, 67.
All
And
right.
then resistance at 80. This is a tough one. It
Okay.
you know, it looks like it bottomed, it came back down, tried to test the low of the move, and now it's making another one. This is a tough one. Let's look at Baba, see if that chart's any easier. Wow, right back to 127. That's interesting. Wow, 110 on Friday, 127 today. New high in the S&Ps there. We just hit 45, 36, 75. Very little resistance here in this market.
Okay. Sorry. Back to the chat. Mitch, I see you have a few tickers in there. Okay, we can look at Netflix. We tend to lose sight of these stocks after they report. Wow. Oh, I know we looked at it yesterday and I said that gap was so far away, but now, holy moly, we're up another $31, $30 today.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it got the act.
Oh, should
Yep,
be
the
buying
active
now.
boost and
Right
then
to
the
buy.
upgrade.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
50, 45, 40, 50. We are going to hit that 45, 43, that two-star that we talked about. Boy, I don't know to tell you where the target is based on the 9-day average trading range. So, but no, I mean, I
Wow.
can't find any resistance in there for you. Is it going to go straight and fill that gap from earnings? No, but
Holy
there's
moly.
just
Should we just
always
all buy this now and playlist to five? Play it to
uh,
five,
uh,
whatever. Five, what is that? 506 or something, whatever? Yeah.
the bottom of the gap, 506.93.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, so that's
that's
50 points from here. You want to risk $25? It might not be a bad idea.
wow. Wow. Jay in the chat noting that the Qs just went over their 200-day moving average. So it was a brief moment of time where it was below it, but that's typically seen as a bullish indicator. But you guys know that we've rallied here the last few days. So, what else was on the list from the Binks from the Tiggers in the chat? Let me see here. PayPal, yeah, they report tonight. Oh, here's one I don't know. Hold on, what is this? What is this stock? SMFR. Semaphore Holdings, small cap, relatively recent IPO in the last year plus. What do they do? They do they're a health tech, healthcare, health insurance tech. What does this company do? I don't even know.
Whatever they do, they're not doing it very well.
I don't know what this
I'll
company does.
just give you. I know this. Whoever's asking about this is long and wants to rip here. I will say that you got a shot, but you got to clear 350. 346 the high yesterday, 342 the high in today's session. Uh, Boom. Nothing else at that area. So over 350, I think, you're buying on strength as opposed to
So,
weakness.
what do you do with some of these? Like, look at it. Someone mentioned Upstart. What do you do with an Upstart? Like, you've got this stock that fell 75%, and now in the last couple of days, you've gone from what in the last week or so? How low did you get there? You got to you've gone from 75 to 117 in the span of a week. That's a huge week.
Yeah, but it doesn't even, it looks like a little blip on the radar.
But it's not though.
Yeah.
So
If
this
you're
is a
long, I think you just move, where is it going to stop? I don't know. You just move your stops up on something like this. And then if you're trying to trade it intraday, look at the average daily ranges. And if you want to scalp, around it, but Matt, I mean, it could go up a lot, but it's not going to replicate that mood that it had in August, September, October, and into November, because you got a lot of overhead supplying it. So yeah, it doesn't look bad. It's moving up. It's way off the low, but it has some momentum at its back. And wow, that's a big move from last Monday's low, 75.15. If you felt like you missed it, and that's gonna be a major bottom, then you could get wherever there's a high, you could get a little pullback to, get back half of the move, or, find another daily low. But I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be shorted here with the
that's the
momentum
thing.
it has going
I
to the
don't
upside.
know. Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's hard to be short when you're ripping like that, but I don't know what that means. Sandvig in the chat. Sorry. Super Spec Man Shopify. Is it still ripping? It is still ripping. Oh no, that's not it. Rip is a strong word. It's almost back at 1,000 though. So
Yeah, 800 to 1,000. Wow, that thing was at 800 just last Thursday, right? Monday or last Friday that hit 800. It also hit that on Monday. I think it gets fun here. I mean, you could definitely hit 1,013.64. That would be your next target, and a little gap to fill up to 1022. But the complexion has changed. You had 3 months where you're able to, get this thing, just get your bids absolutely just hit whatever bid you put out there. And now you got a rising market. So it's much more difficult to accumulate a long position or cover a short when, the thing's gone bid. The smart HFC traders, sniff out your bids. They hop in front of you. But yeah, I mean, that could definitely hit 1,013.64 was your high last Monday.
so okay, GAIN. I didn't know that was a ticker here. Gladstone Investment Corporation. Uh yeah, Gain is what Sandvig asked. I've never heard of this one before. This is not Gain.
Hmm.
This is not Gain Capital, right? Is it? No, that's a different company.
Play it up to 17, and then you got to get rid of this. Is it the same company or a different
No, no,
company?
no. This is Gladstone Investment. This is different company. I'm not Gain.
I mean, you got a potential stopping point here at 16. It's called 1670, and then you got to get rid of that 17 seller. They're out there for how many days in a row between 17 and 1750. So you have potential resistance points on the way up. So just keep an eye on that. It's had a big move from 14 to 16 and a quarter, but I don't really, if it can, oh, this high, this is just a little stodgy stock. First, you got to take out 1635. Then you got to contend with the pair of highs at 1660. and then there must be the old time high 17. You got to knock out that 17 seller.
There's a few more in here that I wanted to look at quickly. Oh yeah, I saw that too, Mitch. Mitch mentioned Dutch Brothers. PROS is having was having an amazing day. It stopped going up a little while ago, but it was up, straight up off the open pretty much. Another 11% day for bros. So we're back to near 60, which we haven't been there for 2.5 months now.
Bros,
Yeah, look at Dutch Brothers, Joel. It's having itself
Dutch
a
Brothers
day.
is having a good move. Um, Not seeing a lot here. 60 is a psychological level. You hit that today and you backed off here. 60 was your high here, 59.80. So you backed off $1.80. So what you want to do is you want to build a little bit, a little bit on the right here. Make some higher lows above today's high, and then get another running started at 60. Today's high is 59.71. And then this high was 59.80. So yeah, it could get through there. Keep on going. Nice 2-day move. It had to bump up. I'd be a little cautious here because it had a 2-day move and then a little relax. Here's another 2-day up move. Maybe get a little relaxing and then try and relaunch it. Maybe find support 56.5, 57, then relaunch going back through 60.
All right, Akash asked about Pinterest. So here's the thing. So Pinterest reports on Thursday, right? Let me check now. Yeah, they're Thursday.
Wow.
Pinterest and Snap report together. So I'm gonna, whatever Facebook says tomorrow, or Meta, whatever you want to call that, then I'm just gonna extrapolate Pinterest and Snapchat to say the same exact thing on Thursday. If Facebook says good stuff, they will say good stuff. If they don't, then they won't. That's my take on Pinterest.
Nice move from 26 to 30, hanging in here. 30.21 was a high, 30.18. You're trading 30.05. So boom, I don't know. See if you can find some early support here at 30, and things open up there. I don't know about 34 too quickly, but wow, this made it slow in the move on Friday. 1-day update, 2-day update. Let's close above 30, and next target for me wouldn't be until 31.16.
All right, we are into the last 20 seconds of the session as it stands right now. Way more green than red on the screen. Only real estate and utilities are really down today. The consumer staples are down a nickel. So that's basically flat as far as I'm concerned. But everything else, now they're down a dime. But everything else is in the green. There's your closing bell. Every index, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, and Dow in the green for the day. All right, another good day. The rally continues, Joel.
It sure does. It sure does. Looks like we went off the board at 45.34, which is a good day. So we'll see. See what.
Joel, last thing, Eric M. Are you guys doing a PreMarket Prep webinar this month?
It's going to be, I think, in early March.
Early March, Eric. You heard it here first. All right, everyone, that's a wrap for us. We're going over to the next show. What day is today? Tuesday? That means it's time for Cannabis Insider. We're talking pot stocks coming up next. Stay tuned. This will end a redirect to that stream. Everyone, have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow.